All right, there you go. That is, thank you all for joining us live. We are here for another great show of Project Open Mic, and we're going to be talking about, tonight's topic is basically the craze of Black Panther, and also we're going to talk about gun control with the sentence that happened, just recently, and basically show why Project Open Mic is what it's all about. So, we have also that we have, again, people, you can check it out. You can go to YouTube, Project Open Mic on YouTube. You can check out the cast there. If you want to check it out later, if you just see it right now, you can also go to our Twitter page, Project Open Mic, and also Instagram, Project Open Mic as well too. All that's combined, and of course Facebook. You see me where I'm at right now. So with that said, we're going to talk about the craze of, we're going to talk, it's light talk first, and then we're going to get into the craziest stuff afterwards. Again, if you guys have comments, whatever, I'll see at the 30-minute mark, not the 30-minute mark, at the 30-minute mark of the show. If you have anything you want to say, I would open up the phone lines. Y'all can call in and talk what it is. Other than that, you could put your comments on Facebook or on the chat on YouTube, and we'll answer them and see what's going on. So thank you all for joining us tonight. So with that said, I also have a one of the person who's be a part of Project Open Mic, because on YouTube we're going to be putting up videos. What up, Kendra? We're going to put up videos on Project Open Mic on YouTube, where we're going to have discussions of all things, because I might be starting Project Open Mic myself, but I have people that I trust that will put up videos that intrigue your mind. And they think different from me, because one thing I know, and I've told people before, not everybody, you're not going to agree with anybody 100%. It's just not that. But I've said it before, everybody goes from extreme black to white. They won't even talk about the gray area between the gray. There's a lot of gray area that people could talk about to get things done, and we always overgo that spot. So with that said, my guess, can you talk?
Yeah, I'm good. I was making sure my mic was working.
All right. Well, the lovely voice you hear right there is basically is I have a guest. Introduce yourself, sir.
Well, my name is Andre. I'm a very eclectic person when it comes to different subject matters. You'll probably be able to find out I have a fairly balanced opinion, usually, on most things. Usually. There are some things that will set me off, but
you're human.
That's within reason.
Yeah, and that's a human. He will be one of the contributors to Project Open Mic on the YouTube channel. And like I said, basically, I'll introduce more people onto it. So basically, he will have his own play list where he puts up his opinions. Hopefully, we have people like the Good Shepherd, of Dr. Feelgood, many other people who want to come in, and also I'll do interviews one-on-one with other people, because again, I'm not knowledgeable. I will do my best research of a lot of stuff I can, but hey, if I can get an expert to teach me and tell me stuff that I need to know, I have no problem opening my mind and understanding what's going on in the world today, because again, it's an evolving thing. So we're going to start with a soft topic first, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, because it gets crazy after that. So the soft topic is this. So I'll ask the question again. Well, not again. Anybody out there who watched Black Panther? I put up a YouTube. I put up a review on Facebook. Y'all can check it out. Andre, did you watch Black Panther? Or because I know you're a busy guy, so.
Unfortunately, no, I haven't. Just family life has not allowed that yet.
Understandable. Okay, so again. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The movie it's good. I'm not saying the thing is a good movie. I understand what a lot of people get the intrigues and stuff all about. It's a good movie. But as I stated before, I think the writing was not that well, and then the CGI is where it fell apart for me. Again, I told people, you go watch the movies. Don't listen to just me and think, oh no. I didn't spoil nothing to you. I just gave you my general impressions of the movie, and I want people to go in there and watch it. Enjoy the movie for what it is. Now, this is what I'm talking about now. The craze is what's gotten me. Now, it's craze for one side. We saying the whole, okay, we got to stop this. I'll give it this. Like, they got people saying, oh, it's, you know, it's all exclusivity with black people and all that stuff. Those nut jobs, I disregard them. That's crazy on their end, and I don't care for them. But I've seen the craze is this, and I want to play a clip of somebody. Okay, it has vulgar language. I'll let you know ahead because, like I said, I try to keep my guests not to be cursing as much. But I said before, I want people, because I play video clips that have, because I can't edit on the fly like that. So I'll be playing video clips of that. So here's one person's opinion, and he kind of expressed what I am talking about with the craze. And let's let this guy talk about this for us. And man, I give credit to the man. It's Chisel Adonis, so I give it it sounds crazy, but I let him talk, and he speak. Well, I kind of get the craze of what he's saying.
Talking, so shut the fuck up. I'm the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual. Chisel Adonis. And first and foremost, I gotta get something off my chest. There are 3 different kinds of individuals I do not want to see at the midnight release or ever at this movie premiere. Period. Okay, number 1, you Marvel Comics superhero movie virgins ain't never seen a movie before. Don't know that Wakanda's not a real place. You think the movie's based on a true story. You going out to different hardware stores talking about, I come from Wakanda, I'm looking for the vibranium. You dumbass, do not show up to the movie. Number 2, we don't need you here. Where were you at when Blade came out? Now all of a sudden your fist is raised in the air. Talk about pro-black, singing all these ex-Negro spirituals when you inside the movie theater. Talk about wade in the water. Malcolm and Martin fought for this. No, you dummy. Where were you at when Blade came out? I remember going to see.
I was about to say that.
I looked over there, had a reserved section for the pro-black. Who was in there? Just keep sweating, because nobody showed up. Now all of a sudden, now you gotta have your fist in the air for Black Panther. Do not pull up. Number 3, the people who won't show up and goofy ass dashikis and dooku's on their head. No, do not pull up dressed like you're going to an African wedding. That's not what the movie's about.
There were people that did that though.
Yep.
I ain't dealing with that shit. You don't know nothing about Marvel. All of a sudden now you're the biggest fan. Fuck up out of here. Where was the support for Luke Cage? Where was the support for Blade? Do not pull up. I'm showing up with the Timbs on my feet, the white beater on my chest, the do-rag on my head, with a fitted above it, because I'm gonna have my triple play powers showed up and ready for every single one of y'all. I ain't playing with that shit. You're acting like ISIS of the movie theaters, ISIS of the Marvel comics. Do not come to the movie theater. Deadass, I'm not playing. We need to start the Robert E. Lee challenge. You come up and stop me from enjoying the movie. You getting lynched on site. Fuck out of here. Reverse that Turner. You're not fucking up the movie for me. For what, son? Put your mouth.
I'm sorry.
That rant is.
I'm sorry. Okay,
that's a special rant right there.
That's why I had to play. Okay. I was sending my thing. Look, I don't know.
Breathe? Did he even breathe?
He did the pastor stuff, man. With
You couldn't. It's just like he went so fast. It was like literally, like, dude, you getting the oxygen.
Yeah, but you know what? I play that for a reason. Look, I'll be honest. Like I said, for the people, who came with the jewelry, not jewelry, with that Black Panther costume and had to have the face paints for the kids and all that stuff. Not against it, because you know what? Again, Star Wars did it. Harry Potter does it. So that's
cool. Like everybody's going. I think almost any sort of fantasy.
Yeah. So I have no. Yeah, that's cool.
Show up later.
Yeah, and I'm down with that. I'm not taking away from their fun. So that is a good thing to do. I never understand the Coming to America one. Why are you dressing up like Eddie Murphy's daddy with the whole fake lion?
Yeah, I didn't get that either, because I saw that picture The dude was just like they were just like Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I'm like,
Just because it's from Africa, that's the only connection you have?
wait, that was just dumb.
That down. Now those two movies have nothing to get except they were African black people.
Like they are completely. Oh yeah, they're African, they're black people, and they're rich. That's it.
That didn't make no sense to me in that regard. I was like, what the heck is?
I did see that picture. I was like, why did they go to a Black Panther premiere looking like that? Like they coming to America. Wow.
Yep, that's what it did. So that right there is just stunning to me. And like I said, there's a thing where you go overboard. It is. It just does.
Well, you can. There are some people who go overboard, but at least they got on the right ship. The Coming to America guys.
Yeah.
Cruise liner.
It was, and it was, and it just so weird. It was so weird. So it just is one of those things where you're trying to figure out how people pull some of this stuff out like that. Like it makes no sense on that. But again, movies what it is, and we understand that there are certain things that's crazy about it. Now, the craze would be basically, like I said, you want to have fun. The other part that was killing me, and this was not black people, some white people were saying this was crazy. Dude, don't go to the movie because this is our movie. What is that?
Okay.
That's not needed either.
I'd like the people out there to know the character of Black Panther was made by a white dude.
Yeah, Stan Lee. And you know who funded the movie? White people.
I don't like. Why does it matter who goes to see the movie? If they want to go see the movie, there might be somebody who's an actual fan of the comic books, like me.
Well, so am I.
See the character,
and so am I. And that's why I said, as being honest, like,
well, like that type of stupidity right there, though, like that you're denying people the opportunity to go see a movie because it's quote unquote our movie, but it quote unquote is not your movie, and you are not affected by this movie. You don't have to see it. You don't have to see it. You don't have to spend any money on it. But the people who made the movie, who invested in the movie, I think they would like to see a decent return on the work that they did.
Yeah, and so far it's done well. Like I say, it's up to 400 million and keeps on going. It took 200 million to make. Hey, good. I wish I could see where that 200 million went to the damn CGI though. Oh, trust me, when you see it, you'll see. Yeah, it's blaring. It's just blaring. To me and you are video gamers. That's what I'm saying. Like people who.
Yeah, but that's because we see that type of stuff all the time. So that's.
Yeah, it's just that. So. With that said, and here's what I'm saying: this is another part of it that out flabbergasted me again. Good movie. It's a movie. That's all I'm saying. It's a movie. All right. But when you get stuff like this,
oh, okay. This is what it means to feel good about who you are and what you look like, and celebrating blackness and oneness and family and culture and all of that. Do you agree?
Now she just said it feels like it's, and there was a lot of people who were doing that too. I'll rewind it back a little because I did miss out a little bit of it.
And when I saw that last night, that I think is what sat with me the most, because I think I had a little bit of faux hype when I first got on the red carpet. I was like, okay, I'm ready. When I saw the movie, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what it means to feel good about who you are and what you look like.
See, that's the phrase that killed me. A movie makes you feel good about yourself.
I wouldn't. I can understand what they're trying to say, but I think it's the way it's coming out that's the problem.
Well, the thing that killed me is if you look at it, if you psycho like analyze it, is like you try. Look, there's a lot of people who said they're happy to see an all black cast. Again, there's a lot of movies that had all black cast. There's a people, but you know, they say, oh, not on this level. Again, I just talked to Andre about it. Was there a lot of people in Blade that was black? No, but Blade was the first Marvel movie that turned into the MCU and made turned profit.
It led to it, yeah. Because if it wasn't for those 3 movies, there would be no Marvel MCU.
Yes, and also right now, like I said, Black Panther just passed the 400 million mark. It's going to $1 billion. People is cheering for the $1 billion, but again, Blade. If you take Blade's money, what they make now, and you put it into inflation calculator, Blade made $2 billion in today's money. So the Black Panther got a ways to get there. Not saying they won't get there. I'm just saying that Blade made a big change into things.
Blade made a huge impact.
Yeah, and again, Wesley Snipes co-wrote it, co-directed, did a choreography, starred in it. Did what he's supposed to do, and of course they took the writing from him in 3. That was crappy, but we sweep that out of the rug.
it was an okay movie, but I mean,
coming from the first 2,
yeah, coming off them first 2, that one, it lost a lot.
It lost that bravado that he had, and he just
because the way when Wesley was in control, he did the character the way he was in the comic. When the 3rd movie they tried to change his character, something, it was like, no, this doesn't work.
Nope. But again, to go out there and for the young kids, like I told Andrew this, for the young kids who never saw, you know, the Cosby Show, Martin, Living Single, Family Matters, that he had portrayed women not being whores or whatever for black people. Again, we never had that.
Go back to even comedy groups in Living Color with all the Wayans.
Yeah, and they were playing the stuff, but they were portraying black people in good ways. So we had superhero movies. Like I said, you have Blade, you have Spawn, you have John Hancock with Will Smith. Yeah. Hell, think about it. If Will Smith had took the role of this movie, it would have been an all-black cast, but it didn't happen. He turned it down, which is, you think you know the movie?
I'm thinking, which movie? I'm trying to remember.
You got a lot of black people in there, and they all portrayed good. It was a revolutionary movie in the early 90s. I mean, late 90s. Sorry, not late 90s. Sorry, wrong. Started a whole special effects rush.
Oh, it's like I know it, but I feel like it's just one of those things. I know the answer.
Oh, I know you know the answer.
But the more you talk about it, the harder it is for me to just lock on that answer. So I'm just going to just say, go ahead and spoil it, because I'm just going to sit here all night trying to think about it.
Give me a second right here. Let me see anybody you can mention on Facebook or thing. Just for now, because I'll delete it out. Hey, Dr. Feelgood, if you want to join in, you could jump in right now before I delete it off.
Yeah, you gotta do it real quick.
Yeah. But the movie I'm talking about that started the revolution of the special effects and everybody else, of course, was Matrix.
Oh, yeah. The bad thing was I had thought about that too. I thought about that was the bad thing. I did think about that. And I was going to say, I know Keanu Reeves was in it. I couldn't think of the name for some reason. And it's not like I didn't watch all of those movies.
Got you. No, because who was the smart one? Morpheus. Who was the leader of the revolution?
Morpheus.
It was a black guy, the commander.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And his wife was Jada Pinkett Smith, which that. Other than Trinity and Keanu Reeves being that, the Oracle, black.
Yeah.
The guy who ran the ship, black. The guy who built all the gadget, black.
For the most part, yeah, it was mostly black.
Thank you. And yet, was any of the agents black? Nope. All of them are white.
Yeah, that is true.
All the agents were
especially Agent Smith.
Yeah. So my point is we had these things. I'm not trying to be negative. We had these things. So when people come out with having the talk like that, it's just not, it's a movie. I hope you go out and enjoy it. It's a good movie. Like I say, it's a good movie. I hope people go out and enjoy it. I'm not taking away from nobody from enjoying it. Like I said, the cast did a great job of what they had. The director did a great job. Again, my problem was with the script, but I'll leave it on. And for people who are new, I want to just play this for a second because people are saying, the thing about it, some people are using this to to use this as a, and I said it in the review. Don't use this as a history lesson. Please don't, because it's not.
Okay. For all of those out there, Wakanda is a fake, highly advanced nation. It fits the Marvel profile. It is not real. It is not history. It's not historic. Don't treat it as such.
Because again, I played a clip last week when there were on Twitter people were saying that white supremacists are taking out the Wakanda out of the history books. I'm like, oh, good grief. And then they were saying that if it wasn't for because in the movie it does say this is not a spoiler, but it does say it was not colonized and everything like that. But it was saying this would show what happened if you didn't get colonized like Singapore and Hong Kong. Do you know who owns Singapore and Hong Kong? British. They were colonized. Just letting you know nobody know the answer to that one. Just letting you know. So don't use that as the as a what do you call it? As a just seriously, it's just not needed. So it's just like I say, it's just a movie. It has some good parts in it. Again, it sets up the whole MCU part because again, there's Infinity War's coming out this May, so that's where that thing is going to be the driving force in that movie. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah,
and I hope, like I said, maybe I would like to see you could touch on it when you watch it. I would like to hear your stuff on it too when you get a chance because I know you're a busy man. Which is one of the reasons I asked this man out because he's a unique person that I would love to have do an interview one-on-one, you and your wife, if you have the chance. Because again, there's not a lot of people who are doing what you're doing on this side. I want to have the conversation as well.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, well, I know your schedule is crazy, so I want it to be towards your schedule. So I'm not that inhumane, sir.
I didn't say you were inhumane.
I got you. Okay, hopefully, again, Dr. Feelgood, if you're listening again, I send it to you privately. If you want to jump in, jump in. All right.
You're going to have a few seconds to do it, so you got to do it quickly.
Well, I sent it to him privately this time, so he can stay up. So whatever. So we got people in the chat on Facebook, of course. And thank you for the people joining on not Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, guys. So we're going to talk about the main topic tonight. Now, it is tragic what happened. And I want to play, I'm going to say play some clips of stuff on it. But look, what happened at Parkland was a horrible thing. The sad part about this, it goes back to, and this is why I wanted to have Project Open Mic. They're both sides of things. It's crazy. And when things badly happen, we go to our camps. We don't, but I ain't gonna say we, because I don't do that. But majority of the country goes one camp, the other goes to the other camp, and they butt heads, and nothing happens.
And you just keep butting heads.
And then it goes this way all the time. So with that said, I do want to play 2 clips. One of them, I don't know if I want to play. Okay, how am I gonna do this? One I will play not interrupted because I wanted to set up certain things just for what's going on. And another one, I do want to do a rebuttal to this. It's not attack against the guy itself because, again, we're going to be talking about stuff, and I'm going to play some clips about some other stuff as well too because I have it here. Let me double check so we have it on the because I want to use the videos because there's a lot of stuff going on. Talk about common sense and all that stuff, and what we're talking about with the gun violence is something that we need to be talking about really. So I want to go into that regard. I need to. So okay, so the first video, I'll let it play, and let's hear what he got. They say this is Trevor Noah of the Daily Show.
Let's move on to the continuing story of the school shooting. In 1 week now, event occurred, and it appears progress might be coming from an unlikely source.
President Trump is offering some insight into what the White House may be working on in the wake of last week's school shooting in Florida. The president is tweeting his support for strengthening background checks for gun purchases, and he's directed his Justice Department to draft a ban on bump stocks, which make it easier to fire rounds more quickly.
That's right. President Trump might be supporting a ban on bump stocks and the strengthening of background checks, which is weird, right? Trump might do something good. Yeah. You don't know how to feel about that. Yeah. It's like getting hit on by someone really hot, but they're also your cousin. It's like, I'm flattered, but I can't go home with you. You know, like, call me when both our parents are dead. Because that's how it works, right? Yeah? Your parents are dead, then you can smash? No? Okay, just me. Anyway, maybe the reason the president has signaled this about facing gun safety is because he's watching the same kids we've all been watching over the past few days. Survivors of the shooting who have been speaking out.
The only reason that we've gotten so far is because we are not afraid of losing money. We are not afraid of getting reelected or not getting reelected. We have nothing to lose.
I beseech our American lawmakers from Congress and Senate to stop slinging mud across the aisle and come up with a bipartisan solution to an obvious epidemic of gun violence and mass shooting in America.
They don't need to tell us that we don't know what we're talking about. We have stared down the barrel of an AR-15 ourselves. We're just trying to not let 17 of us get shot in the face again.
I think that last kid is very relatable. I too do not wish to be shot in the face. Yeah. Wherever Malala is right now, she's like, that's what I've been saying. Yeah. We're on the same page. Now, most people who see those kids are impressed by how articulate they are, and they're inspired by their passion. Other people, like ex-Congressman and paid CNN contributor Jeff Kingston, they think it's suspicious that these kids say they don't want to be shot in the face.
I think it's a horrible tragedy, and I'm heartbroken. But I also know that their sorrow can very easily be hijacked by left-wing groups who have an agenda. Well, let's ask ourselves, do we really think that, and I say this sincerely, do we really think 17-year-olds on their own are going to plan a nationwide rally?
I say this sincerely. Get the out of here, man. Really? Really? You think adults can convince teenagers to do something they don't want to do? Really? Like, you think these kids were actually pro-gun, and then what, George Soros showed up and he was like, who wants Skittles? Yeah! You're shocked that these kids can plan a few events? Like, if this guy had even seen one movie about high school, he would know that planning rallies is at least 30% of being a teenager, right? Yeah, the other 70% is falling in love with vampires. That's all it is in the end. And I'm not saying that these kids aren't getting any help from adults, right? But that doesn't mean it's not their idea. The same way that teenagers get grown-ups to help them buy booze. Right? That's what they do. Yeah, when that happens, we're not like, really? Who made you want to get crunk tonight? Who was it, huh? Was it the Democrats? Now, some pro-gun advocates are taking the opposite approach. Right? They do believe that these kids are acting without adult supervision, and for them, that's exactly the problem. The media's focus more on a teenager's expertise in supply side control measures for guns, which, Tucker, let's be candid, they probably have not studied a very complicated layered issue. Yeah, you know what? Yes, you're right. These kids may not be professors in guns, but maybe being in a mass shooting gets you an honorary degree. Yeah, maybe, just maybe. You do realize that if people weren't allowed to share their opinions unless they'd studied the issues, then Donald Trump would never be allowed to speak, right? Never allowed to speak. Because, I mean, the only thing he studied is real estate and cheeseburgers. That's it. It goes bun, patty, cheese, lettuce, tomato. You can have for the tomato to be removed. A lot of people don't know that, folks. The layered issue. Layered issue. By now, we all know the tragic story of the Parkland, Florida shooting. A 19-year-old who had purchased multiple weapons walked into a high school that he was expelled from and shot and killed 17 students and teachers. And even though these shootings are happening more and more frequently, I refuse to get used to it. I also refuse to accept the idea that nothing can be done. And look, my first instinct, I'm going to be honest, my first instinct is to talk about limiting guns. But I'm an idiot. I get it, you know. Yeah, in my dumb mind, I keep thinking that gun violence is somehow related to guns. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But the one thing I am sure about is that a lot of people in America think that after a shooting, that is not the time to talk about guns. Apparently, it's way too soon. You see, there needs to be a waiting period before you can just get a gun conversation going. It's a lot more responsible. And now, if you told someone that they had to solve gun violence, but they couldn't talk about guns, most people will be like, well, then there's nothing I can do. But most people are not Fox News. Because over the last few days, Fox showed us that once you remove the obvious solution, you have no choice but to get creative.
We need to protect kids, and that means we've got to have metal detectors, we've got to have experienced cops, I don't care if they're retired or they're still cops working in the schools, and we've got to be able to have perimeter controls.
Well, wait. Is she still speaking about schools? Because it sounds like she wants to build a compound in The Walking Dead. Protect the kids, build a perimeter around the wall. I need them dead now! So her idea is don't touch guns, just turn the school into a fortress. Yeah. Hey, well, why stop with cops and perimeter control? Why not post snipers on the roof? Yeah. Dig a moat filled with gun-eating shots. Yeah. Stick the heads of other school shooters on spikes outside the school to deter another attack. But I don't know, that seems like a crazy idea. You can't have a school with snipers and armed guards patrolling the perimeter. No, apparently we need those guns in the classroom.
We should start thinking about arming teachers.
A minimum 6 to 8 teachers and administrators who are trained in the use of firearms.
It's an issue of not enough superior firepower to stop these killers.
So now you want teachers to have guns. Like, my teacher didn't even know who was talking in class. Now you want to trust them to shoot the right kid? Think about it. How many times did your teacher yell at the kid next to the kid who was talking? Huh? Like one time, my teacher tried to hit one of the kids with a blackboard eraser, missed completely, and hit the kid next to him. You want to give those people guns? These ideas are so absurd. It's like a game show host walked into Fox News and just said, the next category is worst way to solve gun violence. Go! Like, it might be kind of fun to live in their world, you know, when you think about it. Like, it's a world free of embarrassment. No idea is too ridiculous. Because I've got tons of those ideas. In fact, I'll give you one right now. All right, so look. The problem is school shootings, right? So let's just get rid of the schools. Yeah. Stick with me, people. You can't school shoot without a school. Except this time, there was one big difference. There was meddling kids.
6 days after the school massacre in Parkland, Florida, the nation's youth are seizing the megaphone. They are demanding changes to America's gun laws.
On Tuesday, students meet with state lawmakers in Tallahassee, and from there, prepare for rallies this week in Parkland, Florida, and across the country next month, including a march on Washington.
It has to be more difficult for somebody who is mentally ill and disabled like him to acquire weapons of mass destruction. Weapons like an AR-15.
We don't want to disarm America. We want to make America have to work for their weapons. A 19-year-old who can't purchase an alcoholic beverage should not be allowed to purchase an AR-15.
They say that tougher gun laws do not decrease gun violence. We call BS!
All right, and I'll leave it at that. So that's one. So that's again, just give both. I give a side because I like to listen to both sides and talk about stuff. Now I already don't have my issues about what's going on with that, but like I said, it was a tragedy what happened at Parkland School, and I don't think one side is going to attack the kids. I don't think we need to attack the kids. The kids are feeling very traumatized of what they went through, and they let them speak what they got to speak. The problem I see though is this. As Trevor Noah said, the adults are not taking over to have a conversation because most adults go in one side of the camp or the other side of the camp. They don't talk about the real issues of gun control. Do we need gun control? Yes. But most people are like, we got to ban all this without knowing what the hell is the ban. And the other part would say, because there's people like who will come up and say, well, if everybody had guns, this would never happen. Huh. That's a lie. You don't want everybody to have a gun. That's crazy. That's one. That's stupid. And two, as one person who's listening right now, because he made a joke and say it would be back like the Wild Wild West. Not even the Wild Wild West had all guns either.
Even the back in the Wild Wild West, there were some people who couldn't shoot you.
Yeah. So let's not go that part. But then there are people who want us to go to the part. Well, we gotta have gun control. Their word of gun control because of the definition. They skew it to say we just have to have all these laws that no people get guns. There's a problem with that, which is.
There is a problem with taking every gun away, and then there are some people who exaggerate the issue and don't want to actually listen.
Yeah, so that's why I have Project Open Mic, because I want to have the conversation. So I'm sorry that I wanted to make sure people heard from one, you could say one side, but hear the things, hear the kids, what they got to say, hear the stuff, because that's the whole point. We have a conversation about this whole thing. So while I have Andre here, hopefully his mic is good to go. I have another page, another basically contributor to Project Open Mic, and hopefully things work out. Will be we call him Dr. Fugo, but his name is Kendrick. Are you there, Kendrick?
I don't use my government name.
Not the time for this joke stuff, dude. Really,
this is not the.
This is not that. This is not. Yeah,
but it's time for that.
Yeah, but like I said, so he's also going to be another contributor to Open Mic as well too, and to have this conversation. Him, his wife are agreed to be a part of this, and again, I'm going to have females, guys, all kind of people jumping in on the YouTube channel. So you again go to Project Open Mic on YouTube. You're going to be start seeing videos from all these different guys on different topics. Yeah, we could maybe later on the third. For sure, the third Thursday in each month until we get a nice basis, maybe every other Thursday, but third Thursday every month, we could talk about the topics. Or if something happens like the gun control just pop out of nowhere and we have a big topic, we'll talk about that. So I'll start since you just like I said, and I would say basically introduce yourself, Kendrick, since you're gonna be part of this as well.
Well, yeah, Dr. Feelgood here. Glad I could. Be a part of this, be able to contribute. Been busy as of late. My wife can't make it right now. She's still at work, I believe, but we're definitely gonna be making an effort to be here and talk about these more serious topics.
Yeah. And like I said, everybody's from different parts of the country. I would think Andre is going up north. Basic Ken is in the middle, the heartland of America. I'm in North Carolina, so it's just different parts. We might have people from London, maybe from Curacao, from all over the place, just contributing to this conversation that I have going on here. So, with that said, I'll say to you, Doc, since you basically just jumped in, how you see this? Because this again, it's spiraling out of control as usual. The conversation of this gun control thing.
Okay, what do you say? You want my opinion on gun control or like?
Well, what you see in the news and see what's going on. Well, okay. What do you think of the talk that every time? Okay, I'll ask this question. Every time a mass shooting or some kind of killing is happening, the media, both sides, play this game, do propaganda bullcrap, left and right, back when NRA, all this stuff comes in the usual stuff, and just stick their spikes in the usual tactics of saying what they're saying. And as me and Andre said a while ago, nothing really happens.
True. To me, I think it's all just a clever facade, when which people pretend to want to make a difference. But at the end of the day, it's all just to, and this is not me going to the conspiracy route, but it's all there to distract us for the most part. And my wife and I said this, you know, more than a few times when we had our own conversations about these type of things. But it's you see how people are such bandwagoners that whenever something happens, everyone has something to say for a short while, and then, as you just mentioned, it all dies down. You see these emotions flare up on both sides. You got the political side, you got the human side.
Mhm.
Everyone thinks a change should happen, and then next thing you know, words are said. Some people take it a little bit further than others, but after a week or so, it's all gone again, as if it never happened.
Something does pop up that change. Something does pop up and change the conversation. Yes, it does happen.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Like, for example, and this is not me negating that this is a serious incident, but people aren't really talking about the Vegas shooting anymore.
No.
Like, we know it happened, and
Mm.
we know it wasn't long ago, but no one's talking about that. This ain't the
Well,
first time a school has been shot up. What about the time? What about recently when the churches got shot up?
Yep.
yep.
No one's talking about it anymore. But I don't know the exact words, but this man has a point, in my opinion. Morgan Freeman, the issue that I have right now is the same issue he has. When these kind of things happen, we popularize and idolize the perpetrators.
That is the media has that fault on them. Yes, I have.
Like
Go ahead.
like like no one can actually, like, and let's say the police shootings and stuff. Okay, these brutal shootings.
Hmm?
How many people that are so vocal about this, would it be people in media, people in politics, or just normal people like you and I? How many people actually know the first and last names of all those that fell victim? Hey, I even say the first names. Like, how many people know?
I know some of the people's names, but again, I
Yeah,
gotta say,
I know some. Like, for example, if you go ask a regular person, they may the first thing they'll probably say is Trayvon,
true.
and they're probably the only name they know.
Oh, Michael Brown.
But
Probably.
like that's it. They talk about it, but they're not gonna do anything else but talk.
Hmm.
So for me personally, it's all sad. But what's happening, and my wife and I agree on this. These shootings are starting to happen more often, and it's because I truly believe that with the way the media is, popularizing the perpetrators, you have other people that have maybe a Me Too attitude, and it's a way to glorify them. And with this happening so often, more and more often now, I mean,
Hmm.
20 years ago, this wasn't something you heard about every month. But
Well,
why is it now? Almost every month we hear about it. Like, we're becoming
I'll say
desensitized
this.
to it.
I'll say this before. I didn't mean to cut you off. I want to add on to, because in my first video I pointed this out. Some of this stuff was going on, but we have 24-hour news media. They have to fill up, and you get hit with information constantly. Unless something came up super big, like Walco, or these crazy killings going around, then that's when you hear it. But majority of times, and you are on the same age as me, you heard the 30-minute news in the morning, and when you came home, you have the 1 hour news in the night. That was it when we was growing up. Now you got
Yeah.
24-hour news. They just have to fill it, and for profit, and it's just going crazy. But that doesn't take away from what you're saying. I'm just adding that
Yeah,
because things have changed.
I completely agree. But my thing is, we're becoming desensitized
True.
from the abundance of information, plus the
Yeah,
fact that the media gets their kicks, they get their rocks off by reporting the worst of the worst.
that is
Yep.
true.
See, good news is not profitable. No one, the public doesn't care about good news. My wife, she got pissed off about this. My wife frequents Facebook. I don't, okay? My
We know.
wife has had some very, very very, very inspirational things she's found or she's come up with herself and put on Facebook. And I remember one time she put something she thought was like it was really inspirational. Not that she's obsessed with this, but it got like 4 likes. Somebody else she knew posted something about I think Jay-Z and Solange in the elevator or whatever.
Mhm.
Shit went viral. Like it was crazy. People don't care about good news. They want drama.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate side of human nature.
That is something about you see, and that's as Andrew just said right there. That's what I mostly talk about this from. I talk from the human nature. We do stuff because of what's innate to us. Not all. Look, I've said this on this show, and I'll keep on saying it. Evil does not discriminate. Evil comes in all shape, size, color, creeds, heights, weight, genders, sex, country, color. Culture. Evil's evil. It just happens. That's the sad part about what we're talking about right now. Now, if there's anything you want to add, Andre, before I take the conversation to something else, I mean, not something else. It's the same topic, but add on to some that we're going to take this conversation to.
Well, yeah, I guess I got a piece to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've heard this conversation go back and forth so many different times. Oh, we need heavier gun control regulations, and then, which I kind of agree, depending on what you're specifying there. Not talking about like semi-automatic weapons like pistols and stuff, but like heavy arms fire, like the big rifles and the machine guns. Yeah, that stuff should have restrictions on it, like major restrictions. Every gun should have a restriction, but the more damage it can cause, the bigger the restrictions should be. Then on top of that, there's also mental health issues and things that people tend to ignore that don't ever get brought up in these conversations. And then, like I heard recently, somebody said they need to arm the teachers. Okay, here's a
no.
Let me break this down. You want to arm the teachers? Okay, who's going to pay for all these guns? For one. 2, who's going to pay for all the training that these teachers are going to get? They won't even buy supplies for the schools, but you're going to buy a bunch of guns for the teachers and then pay for all of the training and get them licensed to be gun holders. And then on top of that, what if these teachers have mental health issues that are not addressed? They're not addressed, they're not spoken for, they're not taken care of.
But you know what though?
And then the teacher flips out and uses that gun that was purchased, given to them, and they were trained to use, and they use it on a student.
But you know what else is interesting, and I didn't think about this until it was brought up. But on the radio today, they were talking about this whole gun control thing. Now, I'm not a big listener to radio, but someone said the funny thing is you can actually register to get a gun at 17. You can get a gun before you can drink.
Hold on,
it's state by state.
A person can shoot before they can drink.
It's a state by state.
Hold on, but it's even worse. You're allowed to shoot before you're allowed to vote.
And in that state, maybe so, but it's state by state. And
I mean, I know that, but even still, that's sad.
Well, like I said, I think my thing is if you're gonna, I mean, it should be if you're gonna be. If I have to be honest, if you could become a soldier at 18, then you should be 18. Because they're going out there shooting at 18.
And it's just there's a lot of things that just don't make sense that just sit around in this country.
Yeah, it does. But again, look. I've had this conversation with Ken before, and being that I travel the world, and said, like I said, sometimes people think that it's bad over here. Hey, boy, you go to other countries, your eyes open up big and wide. But I would say if that's what you have this, I'll add on to that. So let me talk about this. We could use the last couple of shootings of it. The last couple of shootings as Kim brought up. Yeah, let's go with this shooting, the school shooting, the 2 church shootings, and then Las Vegas. Between those 4. Everything has a different thing. Now, I want to give an example. Now, President Trump said he wants to ban bump stocks. Now, a lot of people don't know what bump stocks are. Bump stocks are basically I would say plastic, and you could Google this, but I'm just saying is a plastic stretch that hits against your arm, has a spring in it. Now, let me say this for people who say, everybody will say we need to get rid of. First of all, no state gives it's illegal to have, and it is, you can't sell it, fully automatic guns. Fully automatic guns are you holding down the trigger. That's what that is. There's no state that has that law for that. Semi-automatic guns are basically almost every gun, except for bolt action rifles or revolvers. That trigger basically semi-automatic means that the gun lowers the gun into the chamber automatically. So that's what it is. So the AR-15, also a lot of people, the news media get it mixed up. That people say the AR-15, which is the popular gun everybody's talking about, the reason they're saying that because AR-15 means assault rifle. Not really. It means Armonite. That's the name of the country. I mean, the company that does it. Kind of sad that it goes that route with the thing, but it is what it is. But the bump stock, I say, I'll basically share. Like I said, it basically takes the recoil from the gun of the AR and makes you automatically pull the trigger. You have to pull the trigger first, but it takes the recoil and pull the trigger. Now, the AR, when you add the bump stock to the gun, the problem is though, it does sound, and I'm gonna play a clip of that so you people get an understanding of it. It does take to kind of automatic, full automatic. The difference is this though. The percentage of accuracy drops 60%. And doesn't mean nothing. Don't get me wrong. Does not mean that it's whatever it is. I'm just pointing out. I want to give you an example of that. And here's the thing: I am with the president that we need. I think if he takes out the accuracy to go crazy full power, then it's gonna be. It makes no sense to even have it. But I want to give you, like I said, people want to. I'm gonna give a sound of the AR-15. Of a what do you call it? The bump stock of this guy who's I wanted you to hear that when he shoots, because basically semi-automatic is he has to pull the trigger, and all the time he has to do that. Let's see. Give me 1 second here because I'm making sure I got to the point. So this basically right here is the AR-15 with regular what it was basically set up to do. This is how this is with him shooting the gun with without the bump stock. That's him pulling the trigger each time. Again, it's semi-automatic because it pulls in the gun, it pulls in the bullet in the chamber straight to the hammer all the time. Even handguns does that. That's why I said that's what it is. It's no different. Now, I'm gonna play you what it is after you add the bump stock into it. And again, like I said, it adds the bump stock has like I said, makes the gun a little more it sounds more scary. Let's just put it that way.
Loaded, and let's see how this works. All right. Okay.
That's what the bump stock sounds when you have a bump stock on into the AR-15. So that you learn something right there. It is crazy how that it turns it into that sound that you just heard it there. What everybody using the guns the way it's supposed to be. Now the thing about it is though, the AR-15 has sometimes it has a magazine, has the chamber and all this stuff. A lot of people say, well, it's kind of crazy that who needs this to go hunting with? Well, you know what? There's a Luger, there's Sidewinders, there's other guns that have the same amount of ammo that the AR-15 has, but nobody talks about it because this right now is the hot topic to talk about now. Okay, why this? I swear. Sorry about that, but it kicks into that spot right there. It doesn't need to. So President Trump said that he wanted the bump stock to be illegal. It doesn't help anything. It does the aggregate just for nuts, gun nuts, and I don't mean it in a derogative term. Just to feel good to pull a trigger that way. And I think it's not needed. It's not needed. So I agree with that. And going to what Andre and Ken just said, yeah, I think we need to satisfy the age should be one thing. If an 18-year-old could be a soldier, I think, hey, they could be legally attempt to buy a gun. I know you say about the drinking thing, but technically speaking, a lot of more psychology has gone into things, and we don't stop developing until we are 25 years old mentally in our brain. And I think a lot of things could be changed to that. But it's funny, again, it's going weird. We want to increase this, but then we want to drop the voting age to 16. The hell, we don't need that. Nope. Nope. But that's for a different subject, a different topic, another night. But as I said one more time, there are guns that have the same caliber, the same bullets, chamber, whatever. Hell, the most famous gun right now is a handgun, is a Glock 17. Of course, you can have 18 bullets if you have one pull in the chamber, and that's a semi-automatic handgun. Again, the only thing that's not ammo is basically a revolver, because you have to put 6 bullets. It goes kind of like that, but you still have to put the 6 bullets back in again.
Yeah, you gotta manually do it.
You gotta manually do it. So, in that, so that is what makes that gun different. But here's the funny thing: the shooting in Pasadena wasn't with AR-15s. The Virginia Tech shooting, handguns. Same thing with the Pasadena with handguns. In California, had a little girl who brought a gun into school and shoot her classmates. That story still puzzles me. They said in the story that she intentionally shoot somebody. I mean, sorry, I could have said if one bullet got out and you intentionally shoot somebody, but you shot several of your classmates and you shot one in the head. That is not unintentional. Sorry.
My question is, how did she get that?
And it goes, and then and there you go. There's one of the problems right there. Some of these people get the guns because of parents. They don't lock up and take care of the guns the right way.
That goes back to the Sandy Hook shooting with the dude got his mother's gun.
The mother's gun, yes, and he killed his mom. So
yeah, he killed her, and then he went and shot
they did horrible things. What he did, he was an evil bastard, and that sort of thing. That's one. That is true. Second is, if somebody is at that point of that evil or that conniving, they added on to what Ken said, which is true, and we all agree on that the media does help push these guys to that mental image of thinking that I'm a hero. I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna go down in a blaze of glory.
Yeah,
right?
that is another thing that the news does a horrible job with. Like, they portraying these people in this light. Like, okay, it's one thing to want to be famous, but a lot of these people get to be infamous. They get to be well known because of these things, and it's like the news media just loves putting them in front of putting them out there and portraying them as like they're somebody who's done something amazing when they've done something horrible.
Mm-hmm. That is true. That is one of the problems we are having. That they're fantasizing these guys because they have their manifestos and they feel nobody's listening. The world's not listening to me. This is the best way to get the world's attention and being infamous. We're learning that also too with our young ladies who think being scantily clad is also being famous too, which is another subject for another day too. Or we're gonna be talking about all kind of stuff on this radio show. But we have that. The other thing is we have a I understand where my answer is this. I understand, and you guys could see what I'm saying right here. I understand when you guys talking about the teachers, and as I played the clip, you saw what the teachers saying, and you guys said, let's arm the teachers and whatever, and I get that. And Andre, I have an answer to what you're talking about with you talking about to pay for stuff. All right.
Mm-hmm.
My answer is this. Do we need gun control? Yes, we need exclusive gun control, at least 10 days. I have no problem with that. We need to check who they are, what it is. And I'm going to also debunk, because I'm having Annette, I'll have President Obama. That's what I said. There's a clip going to talk about. I'm going to let him say something, but that one I'll stop periodically, because that's what I said. They infantilize a lot of stuff, and he goes to that certain round, which I don't like. But I think we have to have background checks. I have nothing against that. Find out who this person is. We got to make sure that these people are held accountable for what they are doing.
Yeah.
I think anybody who's been who's have a psychic breakdown, whatever, you can't tell them, but if you have a psychic breakdown, anybody could think, you do need a psychiatric test. That needs to be done as well too.
I think that needs to be done, and it needs to be done on a routine basis.
Nothing against that. If you want to have a gun, you put up a little fence. I understand that.
Yep.
The thing about the schools is this. I think that, we have cops going around here. As much as with stuff, I think, depending on the thing, but let's start with 2. I think 2 cops should be stationed at the schools. And a lot of people, they tell me, like, cops are everywhere. Well, they're supposed to protect the city, the community, whatever. So yeah, rotation.
That would be helpful.
Have cops there, because by our standards, we're giving them guns anyway. And again, madness is gonna happen, but I'll explain that later on, right after I finish this. But they're trained, they have this stuff. Have cops on their school. That if we're gonna have some people say, let's put some veterans on there. I really don't have a problem with that, except for one. Those need mandatory. Those need mandatory psychiatric check, because PSD is no joke.
PTSD.
PTSD is not a joke. Yeah. So if there are some who come back and who are good, but you really do need to weed that out as best as you can.
I'm fine with veterans wanting to protect schools, and that's cool. But yeah, again,
and the thing about it is, because we pay the schools their taxes and in our taxes, and we pay the cops with our taxes. Why can't we just put 2 cops over there? And one person did told me on my coworker did told me on my job, saying, "Well, we got." I said, "Well, we look, we take in $2 to $3 trillion a year with the recent, but not only with Trump's budget, but Obama's budget, and we spend $6 to $7 trillion. The spending is the problem in our budget problem anyway. Stops to take that. If we have the money to do a lot of stuff that we need to do, but again, just like you and Ken brought up, Andre, that nothing gets everybody is using this as a camouflage so they could give their money to when they need to give their money to.
Yeah,
that's just what it is. We have the money to do this.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like to be fully realistic. The U.S. is rich enough to actually be a utopia, but it's not.
I don't like using that word.
I'm just saying, like,
I know.
It's the country has enough money in it where everyone can be taken care of and all needs can be handled. We don't have to have people be homeless and all sorts of other stuff, and we can have situations where people can be protected, but the people running the country are making things difficult and not setting up the right and proper things that are needed for it. I don't think it would exactly actually be a utopia, but I'm just saying the possibility is there if somebody wanted to put the actual effort in.
Yeah, and that is what it is. And the reason I'm saying this is this. You're not going to stop mass shootings. You're just not. If people are going to do something horrible, they're going to do it. I saw it on my Facebook page. 29 people got killed in China because a guy he went on a stabbing spree.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, he killed kids too. He didn't care. He's evil.
Nope.
The guy who took over the parliament in London last year, he got through the gate, killed a person, stabbed a couple cops. He got hurt, but He did that with a knife as well, not a gun.
Yeah.
The people in France sorry, didn't use no guns, but he hurt and killed a lot of people, killed and hurt a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
So, and people are saying we making guns is a killing machine. I mean, that's what guns are supposed to be. Sad, but that's what it is.
That's what
you're
they're
not. Yeah, you're not gonna stop. You're not gonna stop that. Here's the thing, though. Most of these guys are cowards. They know, like Hassan, who did at Fort Hood. He know it was a gun-free zone, so he knows nobody's gonna shoot back at him
because they wouldn't be able to. They didn't have anything to be able to fight back.
Yeah, like I said, what having cops there and having the presence, I think is gonna decrease the opportunity of people doing this. Is it gonna stop it? No, but it will decrease it. And also, it worked that a cop could at least, if they can't stop at the beginning, they could at least minimize the casualties.
Yeah, they could minimize the casualties and they could get word out a lot quicker.
Fast, yes. But is it going to stop it? No. People are mentally ill. Craziness has happened. People are saying blame the parents. This guy, he lost his father when he was young, and his mother was mentally ill. I'm not mentally, terminally ill last week. So, I mean, she died last year. So, it could be blame the parents still, but this dude was just a psychopath. Again, do the FBI.
Okay. People don't know what's going to make them snap.
Exactly.
There's always a possibility.
Yeah,
and just go crazy.
And you're right, because I've said this before. I've said this before, and I'm gonna say this on the show. I never said this on the show before, but I said it in the show. Everybody has a snap limit. Everybody, every single person. You can't tolerate you're gonna snap. That's why I understand why people are scared of saying let's give the teachers a gun, because the teachers are in a high stress with some of these kids. And let's be honest, be frank on this. We could be frank on this show. Some of these kids that you guys send to these schools are badass kids.
Babies.
I ain't gonna lie. There's some badass kids, and they get on the damn teachers' nerve too. And I ain't gonna lie.
That's my worry about giving the teachers guns, because
I'm with you. I am with you.
They are already stressed out, and you want them to be a carrier of a gun in case someone shows up to shoot the school up. But you're giving them the gun, and they might have a psychotic episode, and shoot the school up themselves.
Yep.
So, like, that's my worry. I understand. Yeah, we should have teachers be able to protect themselves. Okay, fine. Let the teachers do that at their own whim, and do not stop them from being able to protect people in the school. But at the same time, there need to be rules in place. There need to be regulations in place for that type of stuff. They can't just give all the teachers guns and say, oh, if somebody comes in here, you shoot them. Okay, somebody might not be accurate. If they're not properly trained, they might accidentally shoot students.
Yep. As John, he just pointed out there on the Daily Show, it can happen, and as sad as it could be too. So that is messed up. Don't get me wrong; that is totally messed up in that regard. So that's why. So I agree with you on that with the whole teachers, that because they are in a stressful situation, and I don't like it that it gets to that point of like that. Another topic, which we come close to the end, but another topic we're gonna roll into this is something that me and Doc and Andre and most of the guys who are listening right now on YouTube and on Facebook will put up to this. And it's annoying, but I'll play the clip because it's annoying for us, because we've talked about this on our, basically most of us met up on gaming channels, and we talk about gaming and stuff like that. But this is what it always, sadly, it gets down to. It always gets down to this because people just can't, it just can't be rational in their thinking. And I know Andrew could think where I'm going with this. You think I'm the one? You got to understand I'm going with this, Andre?
I mean, let's hear it now. If it's what I think it is,
it's what you think it is.
In Kentucky, this is a topic that has been brought up on both sides for a very long time.
Pro or anti-gun Republican, would you agree?
Mortal Kombat. It's Splatterhouse.
The violence in the entertainment culture. What about
Yeah, I knew that was.
depiction of these assault weapons?
And this is D's and R's.
Games and movies, ferocious and forceful of a violent-oriented world. Then came a nighttime TV ad for the video game Hitman Absolution, which led former top Obama advisor David Axelrod to tweet, "Shouldn't we also quit marketing murder as a game?" But while the adults were asking questions, America's kids went on their daily shooting spree.
If you're a parent, there are some other things that you should know that should send shivers down your spine if you hear these three words: Grand Theft Auto. I know that when I say this, about 80% of the people in America that hear me go, "Oh, geez, here's a crazy conservative on TV screaming about the dangers of video games." But like it or not, here's the point tonight.
How about video games? Ethan, would you support regulating video games? You know, there are video games out there that are very realistic, and you can shoot to death, you know, every video character on the screen and leave them lying in a pool of blood.
You know, some of you may be at.
That's been thrown up once again. That's another part of the camp that throws, and that's on both sides. That, again, what I just played was Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, Democrats, Republicans.
Okay. I've already got my answer for those people. Video games are already regulated. That's what the ESRB is. That's what I forgot the Power of Regions rating system. But that's what there's already regulation for those things. And on top of that, video games have been shown to be a better stress reliever than anything else. So you want to take away something that could potentially stop someone's stress and lower their anxieties, which could prevent this situation from happening, to leaving them with nothing there that they can use to buffer their stresses of the world. So you'd rather take away their entertainment. But then we don't take away violent movies. We don't take away violent media in movies, and we don't take it away in books.
Books or
Even
music.
though all of these things have already gone through these growing pains. So now you're again going back to video games.
Yeah, because back in the 70s, when in London, when Jack the Ripper was going around killing people, oh, there weren't no video games then. Or basically, the summer of '72, there weren't no video games. There weren't no video games doing this kind of crazy shit.
When Bonnie and Clyde did, what was it, the St. Valentine's Day shooting? I think that was Bonnie and Clyde. It might have been somebody else. But I remember the St. Valentine's Day shooting. I remember hearing about that. There weren't video games around then.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there is a portion of human nature where there are just people who want to do horrible things.
As I said, evil gums and all stuff. But but we can acknowledge, as we did this when we first met. We did a video thing called a video tag.
Yep.
We said, can a person who's already mentally unstable, can they use this as something? And can violent video games trigger them? Yes.
Yeah, they can get ideas from it, but
that's if the parents don't be parents.
That's another thing. Like, I've played so many games that I guess you'd say when I was younger I shouldn't have played because of the rating on them. But then again, my parents were around while I was playing them, and I was talking to them about the game at the same time that I was playing it. They were asking questions like, okay, what's going on here? Do you understand what's happening? Do you see this? Is this real to you or not? Like, if any of those questions, the answers to those questions bring up red flags, then I'd be like, yeah, no, you need to stop playing these. Like, but when you have people like, let me stop getting tongue tied. There is the choice to sit there with your children and get to understand what they're into and what they like, and get to know the media itself and see what it's about. Like, when people want to throw out, Grand Theft Auto, I'm sorry, there are games out there that are far more violent than Grand Theft Auto. God of War, for one. Or
they just said Mortal Kombat and everything.
Mortal Kombat. There was one, I can't remember the name of it. There was a game where you could literally gut somebody and you could see their
like a violent game.
Fall out. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it because it was an old game. I think it was a PS2 game. I can't remember the name of it though.
Dude, RoboCop versus Terminator was violent.
Yeah, that's you shoot somebody, their body fall apart into a pool of blood.
Yeah. So the conversation, but for us, the conversation keeps on going that rate. Like I said, can somebody be triggered to do things that were not mentally stable? Yes, but the parents need to be parents on this. Just like Andre talked about with the Sandy Hook, the parents basically have to keep their guns on the lock and key. They got to do some of this stuff because some of these kids won't get that. But again, the Virginia Tech, he won his parents. He just went out and get the gun. And that was a handgun. There was no rifle in that situation.
And there was, unfortunately, there was like no security around.
And to be honest, you looking at the statistics tonight, which I pull up from the FBI and everything, we are killed more. When it comes to rifles, as people call it, the AR-15, as this the big bad boogeyman and everything as that. Handguns kill more than rifles in America every year. Cars kill more than rifles every year. The car accidents is 43,000 a year. So basically, more people died from somebody texting and driving and killing more people, or drunk driving. So that's the sad part about it. That's why I said.
But you know what though? The number one killer in the world is stress.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll admit to that. Yeah. And no, Andre did a good argument of pointing out that, there's more people who relieve stress by playing video games than get pent up and have it, onto you.
Exactly. And nothing else. Look at Grand Theft Auto 5, man. I'm pretty sure there have probably been trillions of murders in Grand Theft Auto 5. You look at the whole gaming community.
Yeah.
I'd rather them take it out on there than bring it to the real world.
Here's the thing. Playing an NBA game does not make you as good as LeBron James. Playing Phoenix Wright does not make you the world's top attorney. Playing Super Mario Brothers does not give you the highest jump ever in the land.
Wait. Since you said that, Doc, you know about this. I've seen Mario jump on turtles enough. You know where I got that reference from. Don't make me want to go out there and stomp on a turtle.
Well, yeah, I'm not running down the street looking for a turtle to stomp on and kick down the road. It's just, but the flip side to that, Pokemon Go has helped save people's lives. Unfortunately,
don't bring that game up, dude.
Save people's lives. Mario Kart. The little boy saved himself, his little brother, and his grandmother when she had a heart attack while she was driving, and he pulled the car to the side of the road and stopped it because he played Mario Kart. He knew how to operate a wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Mario Kart Wii.
There you go.
I mean, there's benefits to playing video games because you learn different skills that you probably wouldn't in certain situations anyway.
I will say this, and this is the God's honest truth, but like a lot of my car knowledge came from playing games such as Gran Turismo.
I would say, yeah, because that's where I ended up with a lot of my computer knowledge coming from video games because I played video games and then because they use a lot of real world information to get as the basis for a lot of stuff, and then go on from there into their fantasy stuff.
And a lot of drone pilots like real military high grade drone pilots. They have the what's it called again? Westwood Academy has pointed out that they were gamers.
Yeah. Here's another thing. The military uses war games, games like Call of Duty, to run drills and simulations.
Battleship. They've been doing that for a long time, which is a board game. Yeah.
And chess is just a war game.
Basically, yes.
So it's like there's no way you can pull all of the negative out of it. But what you can do is absorb as much of the positive from it as you can.
Yeah. So, like I said before, I just gave that like Andre just said. Like I said, we had stuff that has done more damage than what it is people calling out. And again, you know what? People are pushing the AR-15. Take the AR-15 out. They're gonna fight, and the shooter's gonna be crazy. Like just another reason is like people are like, well, we spent billions of dollars to put a net on the Golden Gate Bridge so people can't kill suicide. Well, they went to the Bay Bridge and did the same thing. You didn't put a net there. They'll find ways if they're that disturbed. The sad part about it, they're gonna find their way to do it. That's the sad part about it.
Look, here's another example, and of course it's not related, but the same way with the war on drugs, people will find ways to get high.
Yep.
Like for example, alcohol. Years ago, the new thing was, oh yeah, instead of you taking shots like you normally would, hey, take a shot glass, fill it up with your favorite liquor, and put it directly on your eye.
Yep.
Because it went into your bloodstream immediately.
That I never understood that. Like to me, that just sounds so dangerous.
I'll say this to y'all. I give you guys Americans, y'all find the most unique ways to get high. I never said in the country done that, but you guys are good with that.
The people who were putting drugs in their rectum in order to get high.
Oh, whippets.
That too.
Oh, whippets. Who'd have thought? Oh, let me get the first air sniff from when you put it from a whipped cream can.
Oh, from the
air
dust buster cans that you use for your
or the new trend, which I'll say this live on the radio show. I complimented. I said, go ahead. If you want to put Tide Pods in your mouth, go right ahead.
How do you get the idea to eat soap and think that that's going to do you any good?
Dude, we all know the simplest excuse. The simplest reason behind all of this, the shootings and everything we hear in the media today, it is mostly attributed to social media. People today all want their 15 minutes of fame, no matter how they get it. My wife showed me a video a couple of years ago, and this video went viral. Some young black girl, she's probably, I think, like in high school, whatever. She was twerking while in a car.
Oh, I saw that. Yep.
And she fell out. That video
car.
went viral.
Yep.
Some chick busting her ass while twerking, while riding in a moving car.
She was on the news, and they did it. I was like, wow.
And I'm thinking, you just and another person that this pisses me off to this day. No, it's not that personal, but it's so dumb. The what is her name? Catch Me Outside girl.
Yep.
So basically, some dumb chick that thinks she's so gangster, can barely talk standard English. This chick has now got contracts and then people videos and stuff.
Yep.
She's even got beat up outside a couple of times by people that have seen her on television, and because it's like you want to talk crap, okay, then back it up. We have made this chick popular. You think when you bring on the show that we're gonna fix her? You have just made her famous. This chick is getting, and I remember there was a meme going around. It was like, here I am, busting my ass 40 hours a week to get my paycheck. Meanwhile, the Cash Me Outside girl got 2 contracts to appear in videos.
Yep.
Are you serious?
It is what it is.
Like social media.
In the media, they want to.
I hate to say this. It has killed this country. It has killed this world because now you're giving even the idiot a voice, and guess what? They are no less reputable than an everyday person, because guess what? Everything you see online is true, right? Even if it's not true, it's at least funny. Even if it's not funny, it's at least interesting.
And and with that, okay, sorry, you want to say something, Andre?
No, I was just agreeing with them. Like, that's the problem right there. Like, social media, okay, it basically rewards idiocy and stupidity. So
yeah. And then, of course, then you have the media that also, again, and the sad thing about it, because 24-hour news media thrives off of this stuff. They thrive off of conflict. That's what they thrive off of. You have the conflict, bam, we can make money off of this.
Yeah. Just like today, when something does happen, when a great catastrophe does happen, what's the first thing people do? Pull out their cell phones and record.
Which is ridiculous.
Like, no, don't run and help somebody. Don't save your own life. If you see someone getting attacked or shot, let me duck behind cover and pull out my cell phone and record the whole thing so the first media outlet can use my footage. And maybe if I post it online, it can go viral. But oh no, I'm too stupid to monetize it.
Yeah. Well, like I
Yeah,
said,
but all that matters is I went viral.
so you know what? You're right, and I'm gonna. That's another topic for another day that we'll talk about. So the reason I'm saying is, even the news media does this as well to purpose this. Now, this young man was one of the guys who he got the ordinary for helping the kids. He was a JR. What do you call it? JR. Dang it, in high school. You know the
JROTC.
JROTC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this I'm gonna play something that
that's right.
This is what I'm gonna let you play what he said, what he had to say. Thanks, not loud enough. So even I don't that was not the most strongest right there, but the kid who was that wanted to ask questions at something which, like I said, I'm not gonna attack the kids. They're young, they just went through something traumatic, and they're trying to reach out to do something. So I let them get their voice out. But then this guy was gonna ask questions at this event at the town hall. Everybody's making cutting up and chopping the thing with Marco Rubio. With Marco Rubio, and he was like CNN basically wanted to change his script to ask them to ask his words. I'm like, wow, really? That's the way. See, they don't want to get to the problem. They want to solve it. They want to still cause ruckus.
Because that was wasn't that the Boy Scouts meeting, like a national Boy Scouts meeting or something like that?
That was but this one was for the one that happened right now. Marco Rubio had a town hall because he's for Florida last night for the students, and the students going to ask questions about the gun control and everything. And CNN basically was holding it, and they wanted to take the guy. They basically vented the questions and wanted to change this. The thing that's sad about this is how many other kids did CNN get to? This kid said he didn't went to because he could ask the question he want to ask. So did the other kids have general questions or not? Which they might have had general questions. The problem is you sow seed of deception already because of this.
Yep. That's ridiculous.
And that's not helping the situation at all. And that's the problem. It's not helping the situation at all. We need to talk more about what's going on in that regard. And I guess sorry for anybody for this because I'm gonna wrap it up in a way, but maybe again, Ken and Andre, I'm gonna basically do a rebuttal to something. If you want to say if I'm wrong or join in and have a discussion about this, please do. No problem. Because like I said, this open mic, we could talk about anything. That's the whole point about Project Open Mic to have that. So we're gonna take recent President Obama, and a person asked a question about this, and I'll set this up first. No, you know what? No, that'll be disingenuous. I don't want that thing. I want to be straight up what it is. So I'll let this play us out. This will be the last tonight.
Why then do you and Hillary want to control and restrict gun manufacturers, gun owners, responsible use, guns and ammunition for the rest of us, the good guys, instead of holding bad guys accountable for their actions? President, I'd like to use Chicago, your hometown, a city that has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation, a city that for decades and still is under Democratic control, a city that has an outrageous and even embarrassing murder rate as my first example. Why can't we round up these thugs, these drug dealers and gang members, and hold them accountable for their actions, or allow the good people in Chicago access to firearms to protect themselves? Sure.
Okay, I was talking there before Mr. President answer. There's a good example of what Doc just said right there. This guy standing up on PBS news hour on TV talking, and there's a lady beside him on the phone trying to record stuff, whatever, and doing stuff on her phone because she wants to get into social media. Your national TV. You couldn't put the phone down.
Yeah, just
so that backs up what that backs up what Doc just said.
I don't think people understand. Well, people don't nowadays understand how to be respectful anymore either.
That is true. That is true. And but I'm just saying that is just messed up right there. You're talking to the president of the United States. Something that a lot of people don't get to do. You're in a meet with people. You're on national TV, and you still do that because you want to get your 15 seconds of fame. People is what it is. So let's go and hear what the President, former President Obama have to say. And like I said, I'll cut again and I'll stop it like I just did right there, and I'll let you guys say if I got to add on or rebut what I said or whatever. Because like I said, nobody's gonna agree with everybody 100%. That is, I always know that. And like Andre said, I look at everything as human nature because people keep on thinking we evolve past our innate brain of animalness, and sometimes we do, but sometimes. A friend of mine told me the day you don't listen to your gut feeling, majority, your gut. Well, he said he didn't say majority. I try to nuance it, but he was just basically. Let me just say what he said. The day you forget your gut feeling is the day you don't think is the day that you're gonna die. Because sometimes your first reaction in many times is the right one. You hear a gun, go this way, you go the opposite way. You see fire, you run, stuff like that. So. That was a question. I'll let President Obama talk about this because it will prove the whole thing as me, Andre, and Doc is talking about the whole back courts, back and courts. And again, I played a whole full of before, but I'm gonna cut this one and do it like I'm doing right now.
All right. Well, let me. It's a multi-part question, so let me just say a couple of things. First of all, the notion that I or Hillary or Democrats or whoever you want to choose are hell-bent on taking away folks' guns is just not true. And I don't care how many times the NRA says it. I'm about to leave office. There have been more guns sold since I've been president than just about any time in U.S. history. There are enough guns for every man, woman, and child in this country. And at no point have I ever proposed confiscating guns from responsible gun owners.
Okay, I'll stop right there. The president is right. He has never came out and said that nationally or on any place to say that. I have one quibble right there in what he said, though, which is he said that there's more guns sell when he became president, and it is true. Also, which is a caveat though, is Mr. President, your own DOJ sold guns also to the drug cartels in Mexico, and they came back and killed U.S. citizens. So,
yep,
not a good thing. And anybody wants to know about it, it's called Fast and Furious. Check it out. It's disturbing. It really is. But he never said he's going to take guns away from it. So people just use that as a crutch. The right uses a crutch against the left for Mr. President Obama when he was in office. So I'll continue with that from here because that really was not a really debate thing. But I'll get it to the point right here.
It's just not true. What I have said is precisely what you suggested, which is why don't we treat this like every other thing we use? We used to have really bad auto fatality rates. The auto fatality rate has actually dropped precipitously, drastically since I was a kid. Why is it? We decided we had seatbelt laws. We decided to have manufacturers put airbags in place. We decided to crack down on drunk driving in Texas. We decided to redesign roads so that they were less likely to have a car bank.
Okay, so I'll stop it right there. Now I'm asking Ken if you're still there. Can you see the problem? Can you see the problem with why I'm going to go with this? What he just said.
Which part?
Oh, you really?
No, I mean, dude.
Okay. The reason I'm saying that, the reason is because he said he's talking about the laws. We know how did the seatbelt came true? How did the airbags came true? Traction control, all of the stuff. The car manufacturers themselves did it privately.
True. Very true.
It got tested enough, and then it became law. I'm not against the law, but it was not the government who pushed it. It was people who was doing it because they wanted the customers to survive so they could pay off their cars. Really,
they wanted people to live so that they could make money.
Exactly. That's what they did, and then we followed through. Oh, that is true. I give you that, and you made the laws off of that. But it was basically started as private people coming up with these ideas, and then y'all turn it into law. And then and then the roads. Now, I don't know what it is in y'all neighborhoods, but some of these roads, if this is how you design them, holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Roll through a major metropolitan area and make that statement again.
See, here's the thing, and I could be wrong. I'm no politic, okay? I'm not going to claim that I read newspapers every day and research stuff because it's just too much information out there in the first place. But
yes, go ahead.
I will simply say this. Just like anything else in life, it starts with us on the individual level.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I get tired of hearing is when you have a parent, when someone shoots up a school or commits a violent act, and then of course you always have those one or two people that say, I would never thought they'd do something like this. Are you paying attention?
In this case with this kid, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Yes.
Yeah, I know it's not always the case, but my thing is, it starts with us. You know the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, okay? It starts with us looking out for one another. It starts with us being more responsible adults. That's what it boils down to me. Like, for example, I am going to be 37 years old this year, and I have never once, not one time, thought to myself, you know what? I think it's time for me to own a gun and have a reason to use it. Do I want one for protection at some point? Yes, I do. But I never, ever had a thought of like, I want to kill someone with a gun. Let me start with a rabbit first or a squirrel, and then I'm going to work my way up. I never had that thought. And believe it or not, my grandfather, he owned too many damn guns. If someone was to break into the house, they wouldn't even make it to the living room. Like, that's how bad it was. Behind every door in that house was some type of rifle or pistol. So I grew up around that, and even still, I never had the desire to be like, man, you know what? I want to pop somebody their ass one day. I hope someone try to jack me. I'll be ready for them. No. But today, that is
don't be like Andre.
popular.
We got some samurai swords for you.
Like, today, that is a popular thing. It's a popular thing. And I understand some go to the gym. So hey, I can see the point at that time to own a gun because with the way the world is today. But at the same time, as I said, it starts on an individual level. Let me tell you something. I would rather get in a fist fight than get in a gunfight because I can walk away from a fist fight 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
All right, Craig.
Like no, no. Actually, I didn't get that from there. I forget what
No,
movie
I know.
it was.
I'm actually yeah. I'm just it's a movie
But,
reference. People who are our age know that what that movie reference came from.
Yeah, but to me, it's like I wouldn't even claim to be a great fighter. But it's like, man, you can whoop my ass every day. Just don't shoot me. Like, I mean, I'll deal with that. But
got you.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, guns? Why? Why?
But I get your sentiment though. But then we get the people who can't handle taking the behind whooping and get afraid that their image will be tarnished, so they have to up one up.
And you're right.
You know what?
And he goes
as
back
far
to you.
as,
And he goes back to
as
your
far as the image, I will hand you a pack of crayons to tarnish mine. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want the 36 pack or the 72 pack? You know what? I'll throw in some map colors. Tarnish it. 'Cause at least we can both go home.
Got you. I
Like,
got
hey,
you.
look, I'll even throw in some permanent markers for you so you can really spruce it.
I got you, but we're certain people in that regard. But you're right. But the thing is, again, it's more. Look, it's just again human nature. We're gonna try to be as brutal. Some people just have that sick mind to be brutal as things. When you see, I mean, some of us, there's some people out there who would like, okay, do something to an ant. They were like, oh, let's take a magnifying glass and burn an ant. Some people will do torture cats and dogs, some horrible things. People are just sick. My thing is, you say with individualism, and you know me from my other channel, what I always say: individuals smart, people are stupid, and we know how that works out in this situation. But going back to the president, like I said, and again, this is just a rebuttal, nothing against Mr. Obama and stuff. I'm just we talking about the issues, what's going on. And again, as Andre said, you go to any local road. Hell, how about the road that had that bank that threw that car in California up to the second story? That wasn't that bank didn't work.
That's what I was like. How did that happen? Because they must have been like, flooring it for that to happen. For one,
that car was in the second level of the house. So the backman didn't work that well as you think. But again, I'm just being asked the question, but it, kind of, but not really. But yes. But let me keep on going to wrap this up for tonight.
We studied what is causing this fatality using science and data and evidence, and then we slowly treated it like the public health problem it was, and it got reduced. We are not allowed to do any of that when it comes to guns because people, if you propose anything, it is suggested that we're trying to wipe away gun rights and impose tyranny and martial law. Do you know that Congress will not allow the Center for Disease Control to study gun violence? They're not allowed to study it because the notion is that by studying it the same way we do with traffic accidents, somehow that's going to lead to everybody's guns being confiscated.
Okay. That last part there is just the usual, like I said, the usual part they're going. But I wish the president had to go into more detail because here's the thing. Why would the CDC needs to study gun violence? Now, if he said mental issues, I have no problem with that. He just said gun issues. Why not the FBI? Why not ATF? Why not the DF? Why don't we give it to them? Because they're seeing the gun violence up raw and close, and you could interview the people and all that stuff. The CDC, unless it's mental issues, I don't know why I would have stopped it. That's just a side. That's not a rebuttal. That's just a side of what he's saying. That's something that we need. Like as Andrew put up, like I said, we said the same thing too. We got to talk about mental issues. That also triggers to a lot of gun violence too. Also, some stuff is going on in the home as well too. But again, that will be put into another issue.
When we talked about background checks, if you buy a car, if you want to get a license, first of all, you got to get a license. You have to take a test. People have to know that you know how to drive. You don't have to do any of that with respect to buying a gun. And when we talked about doing effective background checks, it was resisted because the notion was we were going to take your guns away.
Okay, now this is where I have to rebut him on something on that. Now, I got two things about this. Maybe you guys could chime in to me because you guys are from America. I'm not, so you could add into this. The first one is not really, but I'll say this: California illegals could get license. There's no background check to get a license, so they could get a car and kill people, and they have done that, and it keeps on going. So that notion is crazy to me.
But how the hell they still got 40 million people?
Don't even remind me. But the part that killed me is this. When I got my driver's license back in St. Thomas, the people on Facebook could know because most of you guys are from from the islands. I had to drive up a hill, stop at a hill, go around a hill, reverse back for a quarter of a mile, do all kind of stuff when I was driving. I came to North Carolina and I gave my cousin, I said, if you get this license, if you pass the test, I'll pay for your license. She took my car. I saw her get in my car, went around the block, come back, and she got her license. What the frick? And I'm like, no wonder people can't drive up here. That is enough efficient to drive a 2-ton vehicle to go 60 miles per hour. Which again, 43,000 crashes car fatalities a year. You can't. The comparison is not right now. If you want to be like Germany, and this is Australia in that way, being that is stringent. In Germany, you have to have $2,000 and 2 years of learning how to drive. But you know what what they have? They have the Autobahn and also a lot of highways that have the least amount of fatal accidents in one of the least amount of fatal accidents in the world, and they go 100, 200, 150, something. They go up to 200 miles per hour because they make sure you know how to drive that freaking car. You ain't getting a license without that 2002 year service. So can we go that route, Mr. President? I'm going with that. Like, if we go that route and we could do that deep of a background check, I have no problems with that. What about you guys? What do you think?
It should be almost impossible, to be honest. I'm sorry.
It shouldn't be almost impossible. Everybody, you have to go to work and do all this stuff. But I'm just saying, there is a gray area between there, and that's what I was saying. Now, like I would, like I said, Germany goes that extreme with their stuff. We, like I said, around here I've seen lax. I don't know, because how was your experience? How y'all took your license? Because again, mine was very stringent.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not too difficult here in the South. I will say that. But they don't just hand it to you either.
No, I'm not doubting that they didn't hand it to you, but you again, like I said, that's my experience seeing what I saw.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that
exactly all that difficult where I am either. So it's just like they have a certain amount of time you have to wait to be able to get it once you get your permit, and after that.
My thing is, it looks more of like checking a box and put you as doctors. We talked a long time ago about this. Put that number in that file so you could be a part of the matrix.
Yeah.
Just check a box, put you in, so you go, okay, you know what? Just check this box. Okay, you did the bare minimum. Okay, here you go. You're part of the matrix. We know you gotta buy gas, gotta buy insurance, you gotta buy all this stuff so we can get money.
Yeah, that's basically it.
So yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. So
I just came from a meeting today in the situation in which I've got people who we know have been on ISIL websites, living here in the United States, U.S. citizens, and we're allowed to put them on the no-fly list when it comes to airlines. But because of the National Rifle Association, I cannot prohibit those people from buying a gun. This is somebody who is a known ISIL sympathizer, and if he wants to walk in for a gun show right many weapons and ammo even though the FBI knows who that person is.
So that falls on whose problem? FBI. If you're following this person and you're doing all this stuff and you see them walk in there, because ain't that what the same thing would happen when this kid has said the FBI felt because he was posting all this stuff and they saw it, but they didn't do nothing about it? Also, The NRA is not a government entity, so how the hell the NRA stop? How the hell they stop you from doing that? That's weird. They're a lobbyist group like any other lobbyist group, but they're not an entity. If you want to put somebody on the list, you do have the power to do that. So that's also just a conundrum. And I'll leave it at that because again, that's what it is. We're going extreme, not in the middle. Just a while ago, me, Andre, Doc, we talked about it, how to be is. Do we need the true gun control, background checks? Yes. Mental health for the people who need mental health before they could get a rifle. We're down with that. Again, for the schools, you could do this stuff, and because again, other people want to get to the schools because they know it's a gun-free zone or a gun-free zone for certain places. Look, you're not gonna stop violent people. Human beings have been killing people since the beginning of time, basically. Go back even to the if people who are religious go back to the Bible, ain't Abel killing Abel and Abel. I mean, they were killing people back then. So
yeah, they were.
Violence is begotten. Are we gonna can we like I said, having the cops inside of the school, would it bring down the risk of a lot of the kids getting in trouble? I mean, shootouts with mass shootings. Yes. And again, think of the colleges, which is sad as Andre, you pull out, like I said, in Virginia, they didn't have a lot of the campus. Most of the campus I've gone to, NC State, Duke, and other stuff, they have police cops, campus cops that are real cops. So I think we should do that for schools as well, too. It's sad that we got to get to this point, but because the media is prophesizing, as we all basically, I'm wrapping this all right now, as the media is prophesizing a lot of these kids to become infamous. Social media is gassing up to be this kind of rock star going out in a burst of flame, and the media, both sides, are playing this game and not talking about the true problem of fixing things. We just have a conundrum of the word gun control just being arbitrary. It's not being really used for what it's supposed to be used. So right now they're gonna be a mass shooting again. There's gonna be something crazy coming up. They're gonna be the same things. I hope people understand having Ken and Andre on to talk about this and seeing some of you guys questions and stuff. I say hopefully soon I thought I would get a phone system working, but I'll get a phone system in so people will call in and add to what we are talking about. So with that said, like I said, we have. Thank you for your time. Go to YouTube, Project Open Mic on YouTube, spelled out like that. Project Open Mic YouTube. You can catch this podcast if you listen to pieces of it. You want to watch it over again and listen to what we have to say. You could do it there. Also, we will be putting on new videos from each perspective. Again, not about this issue, but any issue. This is the whole thing about Project Open Mic. So if Ken wants to talk about an issue, or his wife, or Andre want to talk about an issue, because again, Ken is married. Andre is a dad of 5 kids. Like, we have different perspectives going around in this Project Open Mic. So I'm getting things from all things: parents, married, single, widowed, veterans. Because I would have some people who was in the Army services, interviewing them, and you guys could call in and ask questions. Like I think when I get into the deep, the stuff, I would love to have the phone system up by then, so people will call in and ask questions. But go to Project Open Mic on YouTube, and you'll get videos. That we'll start putting up videos up there about different topics, so what that's important to us, and maybe could start a conversation. You can also check out us at Project Open Mic on Twitter and Project Open Mic on Instagram, and that's how it works right here. So, Andre, I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. And I'm happy to have you on. And the same thing with you, Kendrick. I know we call it, you can say Dr. Feelgood, but again, and this will be just what it is. But I thank you also for you coming on and sharing your opinions and your thoughts with us as well.
No problem, man.
And again, no problem from my end either. My mic decided it wanted to stall and stay there.
No problem. But again, we're going to have more people join in, having about this conversation. The main show will happen every Thursday, 8:30 p.m. of every month. There might be fractured shows because I want to share. There's other people that we know personally that want to get in on top of this and have a conversation. We will be talking about relationships. We're going to talk about the Black community. We're going to talk about stuff that's maybe funny sometimes. We have something that I show that I do, something called Random Talks, where we get crazy and just talk about random crap. We might do a couple of those just for the fun of it, because we don't want to be all serious all the time. But yeah, we'll
just throw some variation in there.
Yeah, just so ready to go. We get crazy when we do the Random Talks. Holy crap. But we're gonna be spreading the show more and more. And again, I would like to thank you guys for, like I said, watching. Again, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share it on Twitter, share it on YouTube. So again, thank you guys up there. And these guys will have their own personal videos on the YouTube, so you guys could share their stuff as well too. So I want you guys to have a good night. For people out there for joining us for YouTube, thank you guys for jumping us on YouTube. Same thing on Facebook. Remember, I guess for me, individuals are smart, people are stupid, but also evil comes in all shapes, size. My creed that I was saying that we need to have an open discussion about many things. You're not gonna agree with everything like that, but we are human beings, and I see things from human beings' perspective. And Project Open Mic is something to reach out for. We could have a conversation instead of just arguing and the bickering back and forth. So, again, thank you, Andre. Thank you, Kendrick.
God dang on Mike.
No problem.
Thank you all for joining us through Facebook and YouTube. And I wish you all a good night and catch you next time.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.